Adebanjo. First, the major items. The federal government pledges continuous efforts to improve security screening at airports. Israel has renewed attacks on southern Gaza. The federal government says it will continue to improve the security screening process to ensure travelers have a smooth and efficient screening experience. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjiojo, stated this in an interview with newsmen in Abuja. The minister who highlighted the reforms being undertaken to transforming the ministry and its agency pledged to maintain the highest standards of security to keep Nigeria. According to him, extensive reforms and upgrades have been initiated and were capable of transforming key sectors that impact the nation's security efficiency. The need for the state and local governments to double their efforts to achieve Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), particularly in areas such as poverty reduction, health, has been re-emphasized. The Special Assistant President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orelope Adefolure, made the call on Monday an advocacy and sensitization campaign in Kano State. She noted that the global dimensionally poor. The presidential aide urged all stakeholders to work together to achieve the SDGs, stressing the importance of collective action to address the challenges facing the country. The Central Bank of Nigeria, as Rian Governor Mr. Femi Cardozo gave the hint at the 10th meeting of the College of Supervisors for Non-Bank Financial Institutions in Abuja on Monday, represented by the bank's acting director of other financial institutions department, Mr. Abayo Ogundade. Mr. Cardozo warned West African central bankers, highlighted the emergence of innovation monitor. He urged them to continue to push forward the agenda of strengthening the anti-money laundering practices. The chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, gave assurance while fielding questions from newsmen in Lagos. Professor Yakubu assured Nigerians that the Commission will continue to push the boundaries of credible and inclusive elections. He, however, urged the newly inducted resident electoral commissioners to focus and acquaint themselves. Senate President Akpabio has urged the ECOWAS Parliament to embrace the spirit of unity. The Senate President gave the advice while declaring open the 2024 first audit session of the ECOWAS Parliament held in Abuja on Monday. Dr. Akpabio was represented by the Deputy President and the Senate, Dr. Barrow Ibrahim, highlighted the centuries-old history of collaboration among the diverse people of the region. He urged the community parliaments to go beyond legislation and uplift the people by exemplifying the power of Israel this Tuesday carried out fresh strikes in southern Gaza, forcing hundreds of Palestinians to flee after the army once again ordered the evacuation of certain densely populated areas. The bombardment came after Islamic Jihad, which has fought alongside Hamas and were fired in retaliation for Israeli crimes against the Palestinian people. The Israeli military said about 20 projectiles were identified crossing from the area of Khan Yunis, most of which were intercepted. It reported no casualties and said artillery was striking the sources of the fire. Also launched attacks against Afghanistan as part of a new military operation aimed at countering terrorism. Mr. Asif said the aerial strikes were targeting groups which Pakistan accuses of targeting security forces and civilians. Previously, senior officials in Pakistan had only admitted to one such strike on the neighboring country in March of this year. The Taliban government in Afghanistan describes the strikes as violations of its sovereignty. Mr. Asif also dismissed fears over the legality of the strikes, saying Pakistan does not inform the Taliban of impending attacks. President Joe Biden has described as a dangerous precedent a Supreme Court ruling giving former President Donald Trump partial immunity from criminal prosecution. The current U.S. president said the judgment undermined the rule of law and was a terrible disservice to Americans. Earlier, Mr. Donald Trump hailed the court action as a big win for democracy. The justices on Monday found that a president had immunity for official acts, but was not immune for unofficial acts and referred the matter back to the trial judge. The judgment will further delay the criminal case against Mr. Trump for allegedly trying to subvert the 2020 election results that gave victory to Mr. Biden. Cambodia has jailed two environmental activists who had sounded the alarm on river pollution for plotting against the government, a case critics have described as politically motivated. Members of the group Mother Nature were charged in 2021 after they documented waste runoff into Phnom Penh's Thong Sap River near the royal palace. Three of them were also convicted of insulting the king were sentenced to 8 years jail and fined $2,500. The seven others were handed 6 years term. Prosecutors have never explained how the activists had violated the law against insulting the king and conspiring against the government. On sport, two-time winners France defeated Belgium 1-0 at the Dusseldorf Arena on Monday to reach the quarterfinals of the 2024 European Championship. Defender Jean Vertonghen diverted Randall Championship in 1984 and 2000 will now meet 2016 winners Portugal in the quarterfinal after extra time. Cholera thrives in a dirty environment. Let us keep the disease away by maintaining a healthy environment. To end the midday news, another look at the major items. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjuju, in an interview with newsmen in Abuja, pledged sustained efforts to improve security screening at the airport. Declaring open the 2024 first ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament held in Abuja on Monday, the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, urged them to be united towards fulfilling the destiny of ECOWAS. He also urged that Israel this Tuesday renewed attacks on southern Gaza, forcing hundreds of Palestinians to flee. The midday news was edited by Idris and visit our website at www.openradio.ng.